Skiddly-doo. Skiddly-dip-doo. Skiddly-doo. What's up, Troll Sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation? Sorry.
Welcome to the All-Star CultPop Podcast, episode 86, a show where we talk about movies, TV, comics, Grant Morrison, and all the other things that scratch your nerdy little itches. I'm coming to you live with these folks from the Yunk Junk HQ.
Junk.
A bomb-ass podcast production space in Philadelphia, PA, where this is going great. I'm your frankly quiet host, JD of JD's Hero Complex, located at 4327 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA. It's a rad-ass comic shop that caters to rad-ass folks like you. So come buy my rad-ass shit with your rad-ass money, and we'll do a rad-ass high five. With me tonight to talk is Alice.
Hi.
And Noel.
Can you describe to me what a rad-ass high five is?
Let's do it.
Nope.
Nah, that wasn't
rad.
That's
there
it.
We go.
There it is.
The third one, that's a rad-ass high five.
It's one you have to build up to, apparently.
It seems like it was just a regular high five.
You didn't experience it. Give him one.
No, it's fine.
I leaked a little bit. Before we jump into tonight's show, we want to thank you for joining us. It's the drippy drops. If you're here with us live, feel free to comment. You're not, because we did this last week. You can tell because
I have glasses on now and a ponytail.
Even if we ever tried to, you are incapable of not mentioning that it's recorded.
It's true. Well, don't. We
will comment.
We'll comment anyway.
Yeah,
do it anyway. We love
fuck?
you. We're in the chat. Actually, the most engagement we, I think, had this year was from a couple weeks ago, where it was a pre-recorded show, but we were all in the chat and we had a blast. Anyway, get in the chat.
Join in the chat, damn it.
For tonight's main topic, we're going to revisit the 2005 classic comic book All-Star Superman, which one of us has never read before this week. I don't name any names.
Guess who it is by the comic book size in front of us.
But before we get into that, I'd like to introduce a new old segment. Hey, Cold Poppers, what's poppin'? Alice, I have a question for you. I probably spoiled it. But what's poppin' this week for you?
Speak for me.
Yeah, which we've already established is actually next week.
Yeah.
What's popping for you
last week?
What's popping for you last week's next week?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Don't worry about it.
timey-wimey. No, I'm just kidding. I have been watching Never Stop Blowing Up.
Never heard of it.
It's new. That's why.
Solid advice, though.
Yeah, never stop blowing up. No, you have to keep blowing up.
Yeah,
just keep doing it.
It's a solid advice.
So what Never Stop Blowing Up is, it's on Dimension 20, which is like the D&D channel of Dropout TV.
You've been telling me about this for so long.
They're all so good. So this is the newest season, but it's a different tabletop RPG. It's a different game system. It's not 5e, which is usually what they play and usually what I watch. D&D 5e. It's one of the, this is
don't apologize for your nerd level, just plow through it.
All right, so it is a homebrew style system that's based off a different game style called Kids on Bikes, and this is so this is loosely, it's basically Kids on Bikes, so I've never watched anybody play Kids on Bikes. I've never played. I've only ever played 5e. And so the concept of this campaign is so fun. The story is a group of people. There's 6 players, 1 GM. These people work in a video store together that's going out of business because Netflix, like we talked about last week, we talked about Blockbuster. So it's basically Blockbuster and they're going out of business and they're closing that week and they have to get this guy to return this videotape that he's had for months and months and months. And
been there.
The old guy comes in to return this videotape. You've been there.
I've been in that guy.
Before.
Boy, we've all been in that guy.
Come on.
I mean, you kept the tape or...
Oh, no, I just had to return it. Okay.
So you fucked him.
Yeah, that's what, wait, was that not clear?
Look,
establishing
there are layers. I took his VHS
I fucked every layer.
Fucked him, and I didn't want to fuck him again, so I kept the VHS.
What happened at Blockbuster for anybody who wasn't around?
Yeah.
So you have to take a VHS to Blockbuster.
And you get your card punched.
Yeah.
And you're fucked?
Yeah.
Hard punched.
Card punch. It's a euphemism for...
butt stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for filling the hole.
Hey, bwah, bwah, bwah.
Okay. Anyway, in the story, this guy comes to return this VHS tape like the last week that the store is open, but then he puts the VHS tape on and the remake of Jumanji style, they all get sucked into this VHS tape. And so now they started off playing different, like certain characters, like the workers at the store, but now they're playing their alter egos in a 80s action comedy.
Let's go.
And there's one character named Jack Manhattan who's basically John McClane. Their names are also very funny. There's one named Greg Stocks, who's James Bond. Get it? Stocks and Bonds.
Oh, Jesus.
My personal favorite is Vic Ethanol instead of Vin Diesel. He's the Fast and Furious character.
Nice.
But it's so fun and it's so chaotic.
Vic Ethanol.
That one really got him. That really tickled him. That was awesome.
There's also, this one is so obvious. There's a character, Kingpin.
Yeah.
Kingskin. But they are, all the people are so funny.
Fuck this show.
They're
That's
all
awesome.
improv comedians. And the game master, Brendan Lee Mulligan, who's usually their DM or GM, he's said in like behind the scenes stuff, like this is the show where he wants to meet their crazy. So he's not going to like try to like sway the story in a different direction. He's like, no, you're going down a rabbit hole. I'm going to follow you. Nice. And so some of the bits it's like the most chaotic I've seen Dimension 20 and it's hilarious. I was crying laughing watching the last episode. There's a new episode out. Well, I'm going to say tonight, but it's last week because I was revealed. This isn't live, but
it's always live.
It's always live.
If you're here, it's live.
Anyway, it's brilliant. Huge fan. It's so much fun.
Yeah, this looks. I'm sorry, I brought it up on the interwebs, and this looks great.
Oh, and cute little tidbit. So the Jack Manhattan character, who's basically John McClane, is played by Izzy Rowland, who is Brendan Lee Mulligan's wife, and he made this whole campaign as like he dedicated it to her because her favorite movies are action comedies.
Oh.
So he made this whole campaign like just tailored to her, and she's pregnant with their first child during the filming of it, and it's really cute. It's adorable, and she's like loses her mind crying like most of the time, like laughing, crying. It's just so much fun for her.
Oh, they're married? I've seen clips of her.
She's hilarious. She's incredible. I love her
She's
so much.
also funny.
Yeah.
When are you going to give me your login?
I have to get it. So I'm on my brother's login, so I have to get it for Tim.
I ask this every time and I forget.
I don't even have my own login.
Son of a brisket.
I could probably get my own. It's only like $5 a month. It's not that bad, but it's
just,
they're so good. No, I shouldn't even.
I'm just not sure if I would, because I get into little habits where Adventure Zone.
Yeah.
Well, I'll listen to like 5 episodes straight of the Adventure Zone, and then I won't Adventure Zone for a year.
Adventure Zone is a lot of fun.
And then I'll come back.
The Adventure Zone guys are in a Dimension 20 campaign for one bit. Side quest is what they call the shorter campaigns. Nice. And that one's a lot of fun.
But the brothers McElroy.
Yes. And their dad. And he's also in it
so
too.
Cute.
Yeah.
Merle. No. Yeah, it's Merle.
I think so.
Yeah, that's the character he plays is Merle.
Yeah. But Dropout TV isn't just D&D stuff. It's also fun comedy shows. There's a show called Smarty Pants, which I'll probably talk about in another what's poppin'.
Well, they're all either
what you been popping this week, huh?
What you been popping this week?
They're all games, right?
Yeah, some of them. The Smarty Pants show, they're all basically games. The Smarty Pants show is they all sit in a room together, and 3 of them have created PowerPoints for like a ridiculous topic, and they have to like convince people of different things that they believe in. And it's obviously hilarity ensues, but it's always usually like the same group of people. They're all like the dropout / college humor gang. And
so do you start to form like a bond with these these YouTubers? Yeah
Parasocial. Yeah
That's cool.
love all of them.
You have like a favorite?
I have a soft spot for Zach Oyama, who isn't in Never Stop Blowing Up, but I also have a huge soft spot for Allie Beardsley. I have a little crush on them. They're awesome. I love them. Nice. And they're in Never Stop Blowing Up, and they're absolutely hilarious. They're
Maybe
always
I'll try
hilarious.
it for a month.
They're always hilarious.
Remind me after the show to sign up because I'll forget.
JD.
Hey, Noel. Hi.
What's been popping in your Spotify?
Oh, in my Spotify. I'll tell you what. So there is a little known rapper named of Eminem. And he has an alter ego, just like the candy.
Like Michael Mathers?
Michael
Myers.
Slick Shady Marshall Myers.
That'd be his name and Never Stop Blowing Up.
Slick Smelly Marshall Myers.
So I was a big fan of Eminem when he dropped.
We're the age.
Yeah. Big fan. And bought all of his albums kind of the day they dropped. Was always excited for a new Eminem album. And then there were like 2 or 3 albums in a row that were so bad that the only way I could justify how the drop in quality was he had made a deal with the devil originally, right? So he made a deal with the devil to just be insane with wordplay and rhymes and everything like that, and able to just put things together in a way that my brain can barely comprehend. And one of the best rappers alive. And then the time ran out on that contract. And so that's where those 3 albums came from. And then he renewed, he got another drop of blood.
Here, dig some more.
Yeah. And then started sort of after Recovery, I think. Maybe it was Recovery, where he started being good again.
Actually, Recovery was the last good one, because you've got like 7 albums after that. Marshall Mathers LP, Revival, Kamikaze, Music to be Murdered by.
So the bad ones were down. Relapse. Relapse. I think Encore was not great.
Hey, Relapse. Good.
Yeah. So it turns out he was having some issues with drugs. Surprising no one really. So that's all to say that a new album dropped this week, and it is getting absolutely shit on, because I think the problem with the way we consume things now is everything is in 1-minute clips at most. It is a TikTok, it is a short on YouTube, and you don't really get the full effect. And gone are the days where we would go to buy an album and listen to the album. You would just buy a record and listen to the whole thing at least once, and then you could skip around and find the songs you really like. I don't think people do whole albums anymore.
I don't think they have for like 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think part of the problem is no one has listened enough to this album to realize what's happening.
So what is happening?
It is a concept album where, because a lot of the people we're talking about right now are, oh, he's so cringy, and he's making fun of midgets, and he's making fun of blind people and Christopher Reeve for some reason. And it's all very, very cringy. And it's about him like, oh, you can't cancel me. I'm Slim Shady. You can't cancel me. And
basically
it's
every
so,
white guy.
So dumb. Yeah.
With power. Got it. Yeah.
But the whole thing about this album is that it is a concept album where Marshall Mathers is killing off his alter ego, Slim Shady, who kind of got him where he is, but now just does not have a place in 2024. So it is like half of the album, more than half of the album, which I think is a misstep. It's too much of an album, like to make the point. But a lot of the album is just really cringy stuff like that. And there's actually a song on that where I couldn't believe my ears. I was like, this sounds like it was back in 2004 when he was making awful albums. I can't believe we're doing this again. Like, what's up? Turns out that was from 2004. It was from that, it was a B-side or something they never released. So yeah, basically it's him killing off his alter ego. It's cringe on purpose. And I think that's kind of interesting, theoretically, as an album.
I'm looking at some of the
not great
reviews.
The album is like, there are songs that you turn on and you crank and it's got a great beat and you really feel it. I don't think there is one song in this album that has that sort of crank it kind of vibe. There's a lot of great wordsmithing happening, but yeah, as far as like a banger, none.
Solid swing, but not real connection.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah. Pitchfork's giving it a 4.8, and they get it. It's a concept album about killing his alter ego, but it can't save his impishly clever Eminem from the same tired, dated, developmentally arrested material.
Yeah.
So even packaging it as a getting rid of it, it's just too much of it.
Yeah. It's too much of the album is the Slim Shady persona before he gets killed off, and then even after that, it's like, well, there's no real bangers anyway.
I think I stopped my listening, or just like paying attention at the Eminem show. I think that was probably the end. After that, it was just you'd hear singles and stuff. But yeah, I think I peaked with Eminem show with him.
I just love his wordplay.
Like,
it sends tingles down my neck when I hear a good wordplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are songs that I still listen to of his, and all of them are from the
before
early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what's popping this week. Hey, Noel.
Yeah.
What's been popping with you, brother?
Well, since this is the comic book show, we're going to talk about a comic book. I want to talk about something that was just announced last week. See what I did there? I actually pretended like it's supposed to be the time that's supposed to be.
Listen, I was on board. I had my glasses on and a ponytail.
I changed my hat for this.
I wasn't going to change my outfit.
T-shirt got sweatier.
Yeah, mine too.
So last week, this time, DC Comics announced their new initiative. Now, initiatives are not the same as events. An event is just like a line-wide big action movie. An initiative is usually a large publishing endeavor to change the line, reinvigorate the line, or do something. But typically, they last for 5 or 6 or 7 years. Like it's the new thing. It's called All In. So what they're doing is you've got writers like of dual spearheading All In, which is the current continuity getting a bit of a boost of like all jumping on points, shuffling around some creative teams, and coming off of an event, something big happens, and maybe the Justice League are coming back because they've been gone for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, something else does happen that creates a whole new universe, a whole new world, which Scott Snyder will be spearheading, which is the Absolute Universe. It is brand new versions of these characters that have never, so like younger, darker versions of these characters. The way that they described it in the hype video was, in the current event, something is going to happen that involves Darkseid.
Oh. Right.
Yeah. Or somewhere outside of it, just on the heels of it. And this new world or universe is much like how the DC universe is kind of filled with a Superman style energy. Yeah. This one is more like Darkseid energy, more like something a little wonkier.
Kind of like dark multiversey.
Maybe. But not as explicitly.
Yeah.
But we're getting new... anybody that's been alive for reading comics for more than 20 years, it's the new Ultimate Universe, guys. Yeah. But it's just for DC, which they've never done before. We're getting a new Batman, Absolute Batman, who looks like a big old thicky dude with grappling hooks, written by Scott Snyder with art by Nick Dragotta.
From East of West.
He does look...
Right? He's a
look at that logo,
look at those
too.
legs. Like, yeah.
He doesn't skip it.
He's thick with 3 C's.
Yeah.
We're getting a new Superman title, written by Jason Aaron with art by Rafa Sandoval. He looks, he's got like shaggy hair. He looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
With like gauntlet style arms.
Yeah, man. I
looks
like
really,
the
really
look of
cool.
This guy.
Nope.
And we're
getting his jib.
And we're getting a new Wonder Woman written by Kelly Thompson with art by Hayden Sherman.
Does Wonder Woman have tattoos?
I'm trying.
It's
there
like tribal tattoos all up and down her arms.
That's
and really
cool.
And she's riding some sort of dark Pegasus looking thing.
I immediately love that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what these stories entail, how they're going to connect to each other, but these and there's going to be more announced. Mm-hmm. The rumors are that there's going to be an Absolute Green Lantern, an Absolute Martian Manhunter,
Absolute Flash. Ooh.
Absolute Flash. Other names have been kind of banded, like other creative teams like Al Ewing and Dennis Camp, who's doing the Ultimates right now, and it's really great.
Oh, cool.
But what I think is really cool about this is oftentimes, or at least in the recent past, when they've done initiatives like this, they usually throw the baby out with the bathwater and just like try and get new readers. It's called All In because they're doing both.
Great.
They're maintaining the current continuity and letting all the old heads keep their old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time also pushing this brand new shared universe that you could just go play around in.
Cool.
And it starts in October. I thought that was pretty cool, and it's got me a little excited.
Yeah.
How excited were you for the last initiative? I guess it would be Rebirth?
Oh, I liked it well enough. I was glad that we were reintroducing things that were gone from the New 52.
And that New 52 was the initiative before that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like Rebirth probably better than I like the New 52 because they were not all in on the New 52. No, they wiped the entire line and started from scratch, except for Batman,
and
except for Green Lantern. Yeah. Like, just anyway. So yeah, I'm curious about this.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. There's a couple that I'm gonna toots pick up, and the Snyder and Williamson have explicitly said this is not like a quick maxi series or mini. These are new ongoings. This will be a thing for the next couple of years, and I think that's kind of fun.
So it's funny. This feels a lot like what I assumed the All-Star line of books were going to be, then what I thought the Earth One line of books were going to be, and they just all of them petered out.
They didn't peter out so much as they just, it was here's a good idea, and nobody coordinated. Nobody did anything together. They were all just like separate things. Because like Wonder Woman Earth One was great. Green Lantern Earth One is amazing. Batman was great. They don't exist in the same continuity. They are not coordinated with each other at all. This is different. Yeah. All-Star just petered out altogether.
Yeah, really.
Because only 2 were made.
1 3/4, because they never finished All-Star Batman and Robin.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's what we're gonna read next.
I mean, I would do it. That would be a good conversation. So that's what's been popping this week. So let's move on to the next thing we're going to discuss, and I'll tell you what that is. You probably guessed. All-Star Superman from 2005, written by Grant Morrison, art by Frank Quitely, ink and colors by Jamie Grant. The Man of Steel goes toe-to-toe with Bizarro, his oddball twin, and the new character Zabaro, which I think is a pizza place in the mall, and also from the Bizarro planet. And Superman faces the final revenge of Lex Luthor in the form of his own death. All-Star Superman is a spectacular reimagining of the Superman mythos from the Man of Steel's origin to his greatest foes and beyond. 12 issues, bi-monthly-ish, between November of 2005 ending in October 2008.
Yeah.
I was immediately excited for this. So, bit of preface. Grant Morrison, for me, is half the greatest writer in the world and half what the fuck. There are like this. There'll be a book that I'll read of his, and I'm not high enough for this. I am not reading it from the 5th dimension. Like, this doesn't make any goddamn sense.
65-35.
Yeah.
65.
I used to say 75-25, but then over the years, it's just been like
after Green Lantern, 65-35. Yeah. It used to be 70-30.
Yeah, Green Lantern brought it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I need to reread that.
This is Grant Morrison is one of the best writers in the world. I love this book top to bottom. I was really glad that Alice had not read this yet, because that meant we had a excuse to revisit this, and I haven't revisited it in a long time. Really, it's funny. I didn't. There was a receipt in. Kai took it out and ripped it up, but I had the receipt from when I originally bought it in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These.
I didn't realize it was that long ago.
I know it because of the logo, the DC logo. It's I have the Peel logo. You have the. You don't. You have the. Yeah. So like the DC Comics have arbitrarily changed their logo like 6 times in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
I have the original New 52 Peel logo.
I kind of like that.
And then that was the one that was like right before it.
Oh, okay.
And now it's the crest or like the badge, like the circle badge.
This one.
Yes.
I miss the bullets. The bullet one. Where
that's
like all the stars around
to the bullets.
Yeah, but it's kind of but boring. All right.
I mean, it's centered. I like that.
Cool.
Why does it have to be like this? I can't just be like this.
Because that's how I live my life.
Show like this.
Yeah.
So,
hi.
Noel,
hi.
How did you feel about going into All-Star Superman back in 2005?
Back in 2005, I was getting this in issues. I was crazy poor, fresh out of college. This was probably the only book I was pulling. And it came out every 3 to 6 months. So I originally read this in such staggered chunks that I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah.
I just remember like large beats.
Same problem.
Yeah. It came out so infrequently that it was wild. Also, too, again, early to no internet. So it's not like there was infrastructure that told you when something was coming out and how late it might be or how late it won't be or solicitation. Like,
well, I hope that shows up eventually.
Yeah, it was just you were at the shop and maybe it was there, maybe it wasn't. We'll see.
Yeah.
So I read it over the course of 3 years and barely retained pieces of it, but I knew that I loved it.
Each issue was in itself.
Yeah. Like by the time you get towards the end of the book with how many tasks has he accomplished, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to
I mean, even just reading this now, I was like, wait, how many tasks has he done?
So I don't have to pull this out. Let me see your book. Yeah, I loved it. Part of me loved it because I knew I was supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, everything
it's a big deal.
Everything about this is a big deal. Everything about this is done so well. Even if I might not be dancing to its specific tune or on its wavelength, I knew that I was reading something that was
important.
Like game changing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So even the stuff that didn't like emotionally resonate with me, I was still like, okay, cool, let's keep rolling because the zeitgeist told me to keep rolling. Seriously, like sometimes it puts you in the right direction as opposed to groupthink. It's just like, no, you should be reading this. Like, even though you want to drop off because you've been waiting 4 months for the last issue, stick with it.
Yeah, keep going.
So this was the first time I read it all the way through in one clip in 10, 15 years, 10, 12 years, something like that. Yeah, a lot of stuff I didn't remember.
Okay.
A lot I didn't remember.
So Alice,
me,
you haven't read it, so I can't ask you about your previous experience with All-Star Superman. Because did you know that there's an animated film? Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, never mind. It exists. You should check it out. So, all right. So let's start with how did you feel coming into All-Star Superman? Do you know Grant Morrison?
Personally. Yeah.
Do you know them?
Are you aware of
I'm not sure I do.
work?
What else have they done?
Well, they're finally reprinting We 3, which you're going to have to read when it comes out.
Okay.
And then Sea Guy, which was awful.
You're just going for the most obscure shit.
Yeah. X-Men, and game-changing run on X-Men.
Doom Patrol, New X-Men.
Animal Man.
A very long Batman run.
Yeah.
He essentially created Damian.
Okay, then I've read.
He's responsible for Damian.
I recognize the name. I usually read, like, if I go for a DC comic, I'm gonna grab the Batman or a Nightwing or something.
So yeah, you've definitely read.
Yeah.
And an excellent. Anybody who hasn't read it, an excellent novel called Super Gods, which is half the history of comic books and then half autobiography. And his use of drugs to reach a different dimension, and magic and real magic. So highly recommend Super Gods. It is fascinating.
It has illustrations by Frank Quitely also.
Oh, not my copy. Yeah, really? There's a copy.
Didn't he do like the cover and all kinds of other shit?
Oh, not my copy.
I maybe misremembering.
Look at it again.
Yeah.
So what did you think of All-Star Superman?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I had a good time with it. I know enough about Superman, like going into it, like when we read the Blackest Night, I did not know a lot about Green Lantern. So that was like a lot of info for me to take in. Like this, I knew a lot about, like I knew the basic lore of Superman. I know a lot of like the villains and the other characters. I never heard of Zabaro except for the pizza shop.
He's brand new.
He's brand new. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure.
Neither had we.
Yeah. I really liked it.
So what was your experience with Superman as a character? Do you care about him at all?
Yeah.
He's your man.
He's
my man.
He's your man.
I've told the story before. Yeah. I watched Christopher Reeve when I was a kid, seen all the movies, and like whenever he pops up with in a Batman thing, I love Superman's relationship with Batman. I love them together. I think they're fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So anytime he pops up in a Batman, anytime he pops up in a Batman thing that I'm reading, I'm like, nice. I love this.
What did you think of Frank Quitely's art?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
I really liked it. I loved...
I've found that he can be what's it called?
Acquired taste.
Really? Yeah. Oh, no.
There are people who hate him, and I'm like, I fucking love Frank Quitely.
I love the art. I liked the... when Lois Lane gets the suit. I loved all that. The art of that
might be my favorite issue.
That was great. I loved that issue. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, look at that!
That's
look at that!
Sick.
Oh, right. I don't have it on mine. Oh, I love that image of them on the moon kissing.
In the spot.
Oh, spot varnish. My favorite bit of this is the dust she's kicking up. The moon dust she's kicking up. It's such a nice little touch. Ugh, so good.
Yeah, Frank Quitely. Like I do think that his figure shapes are acquired for sure, but how he articulates like emotionality and acting and scene progression, top tier.
Yeah.
There's no one else like.
So going back now to reread it, what'd you think? You said there was a lot of things you forgot.
Yeah, I mean, most of the second half.
Yeah, same.
I completely forgot most of the second half, including like the finale.
Yeah,
like all the shit with Solaris and
I forgot that too.
Solaris.
Yeah, I forgot all of it because the stuff that I think my memory of it, other than just like the prestige it holds in my head, ends around the Superman Squad issue. That's like the emotional peak for the whole series for me. The idea of him. Spoilers for a 25-year-old book. I'm sorry, or a 20-year-old book.
Pa Kent.
The Pa Kent.
And the way they did it
wonderful feat
was so Grant Morrison.
Yeah,
they're fighting a chronivore. They're fighting a chronivore that eats time. And basically, while Superman is fighting the chronivore, it eats 3 minutes of his life that he doesn't realize are missing. And those are the 3 minutes that he could have been helping Pa Kent while he's having a heart attack.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
But so the way that it's presented in the book, though, is the issue doesn't give you any of that context at the beginning. It is just a past story. You're seeing a young Superman story. And then these Supermen from the future show up. And it just goes on. But then it's revealed at the end of that issue that the unknown Superman was actually our current day Superman who was given the opportunity to say goodbye to his father.
Last moments. I know.
But the way that the structural bait and switch of it all, I just thought was wonderful. Because like in the context of this book, yeah, we could see a past story, but it reveals that it's a current day story in this at the end.
For our character, it is happening now.
Yes.
Even though it's in the past.
Yeah.
So like that's the emotional peak of the book for me. And then after that, I guess I just kind of forgot the details after that. But I obviously remembered the very ending where you know what, I did remember the ending, but I didn't remember like a very specific detail I just thought he went in and reignited the sun.
Right.
But he's actually in there trying to build a new sun.
Yeah.
So he's still alive.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of like myth making.
Yeah.
But the idea of like, oh no, he's probably up there just kind of like building his sun.
And you know what? You know what didn't occur to me? The title is literal.
All star.
At the end, he is a star. God damn it, Grant Morrison.
That was the first thing I thought of when I finished. I was like,
if you think about it, too, the Prime Superman that's golden, I actually think that's him.
Oh, that is. That's him in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, he eventually comes out. I think they mentioned like one thing at the end.
Oh.
They mentioned that that's...
I just kind of put...
He'll be out and I'll be here waiting for him.
Oh, I thought that was just her happy talking, not a confirmation that that's him or not. Like, I
felt like that was him.
I felt like it was him.
Yeah,
but
I thought so.
That conversation was not confirmation. That conversation was not confirmation for me. It was just her being hopeful about the man she loves.
Like, I'm just gonna wait. Yeah.
Can I say a biology nerdy thing?
Please.
Yeah.
They say my favorite word in biology, apoptosis.
Oh, I'd never heard, and I was like, I don't even know how to say that out loud.
There's actually some debate. There's some debate on how it's pronounced. I like to say it apoptosis because it's just fun to say.
Yeah.
Nice mouthfeel.
So apoptosis is the other one?
But some people say apoptosis, or like some professors would be like, oh, it's not apoptosis. And I'm like, I'm going to say apoptosis because it's more fun to say. And you knew what I meant.
So what is apoptosis?
Cellular death.
Oh.
So it's just cells die. It happens, like cells die all the time. So it's a natural thing, but I guess not for Superman.
Yeah, no.
But as soon as they said apoptosis, like they were describing what was happening, and I was like, it's apoptosis. And then he says it, and I'm like, he said apoptosis.
Get them good cells.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you already know, but the story basically boils down to Lex Luthor has killed Superman. He has sent him on a mission, unbeknownst to Kal-El. He has been sent on a mission to the sun. Which part? All of it? Yeah.
That's like on the back of this.
Even though Superman himself, his cells are powered by solar radiation, he overloads on cellular radiation and gets cancer and is basically dying. And he's got all of these things that he wants to accomplish before he goes.
Yeah, supercharged cells, they just keep exploding.
Which
it's just cellular death.
Other thing I forgot, he gets new powers because of it.
Yeah.
Because the way he saves the thing in the beginning.
As much. Yeah.
Superman is shielding us by extending his own bioelectric field. It's like, he can't do that.
Yeah.
What is he?
What are they talking about?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
and then it's like, oh, he's got new powers.
He's got new powers because it's he is exponentially super smart. Everything is heightened, and he has new powers because everything is firing on all cylinders until he peters out. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this book is fucking great.
It's so good.
It does some of my favorite Lex Luthering.
He's pure villain.
What I like about this,
I like the eyebrow.
That fucking eyebrow thing. God damn it. Because I'm reading the book, and Clark is walking around with Lex, and all of a sudden I'm like, did Frank quietly forget to put an eyebrow on Lex? He's like got one eyebrow, and then I look at the next panel. Oh no, he's got one eyebrow. And so I had to go back and be like,
he makes a comment about Clark Kent's eyebrows. They're like, oh, they call that the Superman swoosh in most places. Like, men try to get that, and then you find out
that he draws on his eyebrows because he has no hair on his body.
Oh, I thought they were like little tubes.
You can see like a very brief panel of him just sort of like he's sweating and he just sort of does like this, and that's where he loses his eyebrow. Yeah, so he has to draw it back on. But I'm sorry. What I really like about this is that it is a super dangerous Lex Luthor mixed sort of with 1978 Goofy Luthor a little bit, played by
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
I don't know if it's goofy. It's exaggerated.
Because like
there's nothing goofy about this dude, but he's very exaggerated.
The things that are happening around him.
He's theatrical.
He's very theatrical, and he thinks that he's the king shit, and he thinks that he's in charge of the whole prison. Meanwhile, people are trying to murder him, and Clark's accidentally protecting him.
I loved that whole sequence of Clark being a bumbling idiot, but he's really just
saving Lex's life like 5 times.
Yeah, and Lex is like, oh, you bumbling oaf. And it's like he
literally just saved your life again.
Superman, who's so good at being Superman that he's able to pull off being a bumbling oaf while also saving your life at the same time.
Some of my favorite stuff. Yeah.
When they revealed, they didn't really reveal it. When it's leaked, the look of David Cornsweet.
Cornsweet.
Yeah. His Clark look. It's this book.
The curly-ish kind of hair.
It's this oafish, but kind of schlubby, curly hair and a suit that doesn't fit kind of look.
Mm-hmm. This is, I want to call it out, as you're saying, the first time that I've ever seen an artist make Clark and Superman look different enough that you would go, oh, I could see why no one knows who that is.
Exactly. Because every other thing I've seen, I feel like it's just him putting on the glasses.
That's it.
Like this.
Yeah, but he still has a bespoke fitting suit and slick back hair. Like he doesn't look like a schlub
I was
at
like,
all.
Okay, I get it. And there's even a part towards the end where, Clark runs in.
Yeah.
But obviously, we know it's really Superman. But they even say, like, you look buffer than usual. Yeah. And have you been going to the gym? And then he reveals, like, oh, I'm actually Superman. And they're like, oh, is Clark okay? Like, did you put him in your Fortress of Solitude? And he's like, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. I think that was Jimmy kind of helping him out too. I think Jimmy does know. And he was kind of helping him out, like, oh,
is Clark okay?
Yeah, you do a really good Clark impression, Superman.
So do you think that they just make a Superman, or they impregnate Lois with a Superman?
Oh, at the end, where they're making another Superman.
Yeah, Project 2.
Yeah. I think they're just they've cloned him.
There's the 2? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just, I don't think
he does have a legacy of some sort.
I don't think they insert anything into Lois.
Well, she could be a willing participant. She wants to carry a child.
But yeah, it's the first time that I've ever seen an artist, like, somehow he even gets a little bit of a second chin.
He just kind of like pulls his chin back, and it's right here.
He hunches.
Do I look to add
so
glasses?
Cool.
Do I look different?
Yeah, actually, like,
I look like me.
And Frank quietly did the work. Like, in the Absolute Edition, there's actually, like, he made sure when he did the 2 different versions that the actual center mass is the same, and it's the same figure that he's just manipulating.
That's brilliant.
I just think that's fucking great.
That's brilliant.
Yep. Like, he didn't just make him fatter. Like, he
just changed his posture.
He took the figure, changed his posture, and made sure that they were the same center masses.
So cool.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's masterful.
Good comic booking.
Yeah.
It really is.
Did you guys have any favorite bits?
Well,
my favorite bits are
the bits where
saving Lex.
saving Lex and the freaking eyebrow bit. Because I didn't notice it at first, and then his niece or whatever niece says like, "Oh, your eyebrow," and he like turns around quick and draws it on hastily and like really badly,
arching.
Yeah.
You go, no. Oh, well, yeah, that's a good bit. No, when he visits Lex for the last time, that's you passed it again. That scene when he visits Lex for the last time, he actually like earnest plea of like, "This is your opportunity. You've got 3 weeks. Do something."
You've won.
And he just spits it in his face.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome.
That's Lex.
That's a super good scene.
Yeah. I like the bits of him saving him in the prison, like oh my god, it was so. And he's like, "Oh, I can't see without my glasses." Laser vision.
The jumper scene has been misappropriated so often lately.
Yeah. What? The suicide jumper, the suicide attempt that he thwarts in like 4 panels. So
people just people that have terrible media literacy and like edgy dumb shit are like, Superman, she would catch her. I'm like, you don't understand the emotional core of the scene. That, like,
is like the comfort in the moment of another person being there for you, not just
catching
not
her.
just Superman being Superman. He's being a human.
The character is emotionally mature enough to know that you can't brute your way through things, and you actually have to like, comfort and change minds.
Yeah, this is my favorite characterization of Superman. He's like, he maintains his wholesome core while still being in like really kind of cool, gnarly stories.
Yeah.
I liked the Bizarro bit, although trying to read what they're saying.
Bizarro speak.
So I was losing my mind.
There was a Jason Aaron story that was 3 issues this year. And we reviewed it on Fresh Floppies, and I was like, I hate Bizarro. I hate reading Bizarro.
In the context of the story, they did change the rules of Bizarro speak, so at least it was consistent.
Yeah.
It was just annoying.
I liked it though. Like everything's backwards, reverse. I loved the bit where their Wonder Woman turned into a statue. Yeah. Instead of being from a statue. Like I loved that.
She hardened into clay.
Yeah.
Like,
and also Batman, their Batman was shot by his parents.
Yeah.
I loved how it was all just backwards and wrong.
It was really fucking twisted.
Oh my god.
Really funny.
Yeah, this book is wonderful. I might have misremembered too the Pa Kent stuff. Like do you think that he let Pa Kent know who he was?
Oh, right. Because there's a sequence where they're just like watching a sunset.
You don't see their interaction off.
Yeah.
It's off panel. Whatever they said to each other was off panel.
Yeah.
It always makes me wonder, like, did he maybe talk to his father, like, just wanted to say goodbye? Like, and then they kind of fade out. You don't see, like, him have the heart attack in his presence.
No, I don't think they do. I don't think he does let him know, which is a shame.
It would be cool.
Because the last one he's saying is Pa Kent saying, he'll be okay, won't he? The boy. It all comes out right in the end. And then we find out later.
But is he asking because he knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's either way.
It could be read either way. Yeah, it's true.
It's good.
I guess you could, yeah. One of my other favorite bits.
Yeah, then he's alone when he collapses.
One of my other favorite bits is Lex Luthor. Well, first of all, the fact that they tie it back to issue 2 or 3, where Lois has the superpowers for 24 hours, and he's able to co-opt that to make his own. And
that was another bit I loved. Her birthday, just getting to be super powerful.
Yeah, he like corrupts Superbot 7, and then Superbot 7 sacrifices himself because he feels ashamed for letting Lex.
Yeah, it's so good. But anyway, when Lex finally does have all of the powers and sees the world, Superman sees it, and he breaks down in tears. Like, it doesn't change him dramatically, I don't think, but it's certainly enough for him to be like, oh fuck. Yeah. I love that bit. So good.
Yeah, this 10 stars.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Out of 5.
I also like this detail when he finds out his father is dying. He's flying so fast his hair is on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
It's a good book.
Yeah, if you haven't read, I mean, I know we spoiled a lot of it, but
it's the journey.
That in no way will deter from your enjoyment of this book. I think it is a classic. It takes everything that's classic about the hero, including some of the ridiculousness of the 60s and 70s stories and modernizes them for current audiences, even though it was in 2005. And it still holds up. It's awesome.
That's Grant Morrison's thing.
It's his whole get.
Like his entire Batman run was, I'm going to see if I can incorporate all the absolutely ignorant shit in the 40s, 50s, and 60s and make it canon.
Everyone was just too drugged up.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm gonna use this character. Oh, the Batman of Mexico. Yeah, cool. let's do it. Yeah. And like turn it into a So that's kind of his wheelhouse, and I love him for it. If you like this, read All-Star Batman and Robin.
He's lying. Don't do it.
Do it.
But if you can do it, just be aware that you're going in for some edgelord shit.
He's the goddamn Batman.
Edgelord nonsense.
What is the goddamn Batman?
Swear to me!
Goddamn
where is he?
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And that I remember I jumped. Yeah.
I mean, he was trying to wake her up.
I'm sorry. The scene with Two-Face and Joker comes in. And he goes, oh, shit. Anyway, email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of All-Star Superman. And we'll talk at you later. Deuces.